All right, today we're tackling one of the all-time great, and sometimes, let's be honest, one of the most frustrating dog games out there, fetch. We're going to show you how to get past all that guesswork and build a retrieve that's not just reliable, but actually a blast for both you and your dog.
I mean, who hasn't been there, right? You throw the ball, your dog takes off like a rocket, and then starts a victory lap around the yard, playing a lovely game of you can't catch me. It's so common. But here's the thing you've got to understand. A perfect fetch isn't just something dogs do. It's a skill that we have to build with them together as a team.
Okay, so first things first, let's just bust a huge myth right now. You probably think, oh, I have a retriever, they should just retrieve. But a perfect fetch is way more than just instinct. It's actually a pretty complex chain of behaviors. Think of it less like flipping a switch and more like learning a whole new language with your dog, one word at a time. In the core of that language, it's all about partnership. We are completely throwing out those old, outdated ideas about dominance and force. This isn't about making your dog do something. It's about building a willing partner, using clear communication to create a game they're genuinely excited to play with you. And we're going to do it based on what the science actually tells us about how dogs learn.
So how do we actually do that? How do we communicate clearly? Well, it all starts with some really basic science of how dogs learn. It's called operant conditioning. And don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. This is going to be our roadmap for everything else we talk about.
So, positive reinforcement. This is basically the engine of our entire training plan. It's super simple. When your dog does something you like, you immediately add something they love. A treat, praise, a toy, whatever. It's the most powerful way to tell them, yes, that thing you just did, do that again.
And on the flip side, here's how we deal with mistakes, but without any force or intimidation. Let's say your dog gets all jumpy and tries to snatch the ball before you throw it. You just pull the ball away for a second. The game stops. By removing the fun thing they want, you're sending a super clear message that jumping doesn't work. It's a gentle but really effective way to communicate the rules.
So when you put it all together, it really boils down to this simple choice. Our whole approach is about cooperation. We're adding joy to the game to build trust and real enthusiasm. This is the exact opposite of those old-school compulsion methods, the ones that rely on adding fear to get results. We're not building a robot. We're creating an eager, willing partner who loves the game.
Okay, so now that we've got the science down, let's get practical. Let's open up the trainer's toolkit and look at the 3 main techniques we're going to use to build this perfect fetch, piece by piece.
So here they are, our 3 big tools. You've got luring, that's basically using a treat like a magnet to guide your dog. Then there's capturing, which is awesome. That's when you see your dog do something you like on their own and you reward it right then and there. But for building a retrieve from scratch, the real MVP, the star of the show, is shaping. It's like building with Legos. We reward all the tiny little steps that lead to the final big behavior.
All right, let's put those tools to work. We're going to walk through a really clear 4-phase blueprints to build this thing. Following these steps is what makes all the difference.
Phase 1, and this is job number 1. Make that toy the most exciting thing in the world. Seriously, your dog isn't going to bring you something they don't care about, so you have to build that desire. This isn't a toy that just lies around. It's a special, playtime-only thing. You make it wiggle and skitter around like prey, you play a little tug, and you have to be excited. Your dog feeds off your energy, so if you think it's cool, they will too.
Okay, next up is shaping the take. This is where that whole Lego building idea really comes into play. We're not going to just wait for the dog to pick up the toy. We're going to reward the tiniest little steps toward it. We start by rewarding them just for looking at the toy, then for sniffing it, then maybe for bumping it with their nose. By rewarding each tiny piece, we're basically letting the dog figure out the puzzle on their own, which makes the learning so much stronger.
Now, once they're picking it up, we get to a step that is so critical, and it's one that people often rush, teaching the hold. You know that halfway drop we talked about? It almost always happens because the hold wasn't trained properly. So you build it up slowly. The dog picks up the toy, and you just wait a single second before you say yes and reward. Then 2 seconds. You build that duration bit by bit while the toy is still in their mouth.
Okay, so they've got a good hold. Now we need them to come back to us. And here's the secret trick. And it's going to sound a little weird. The moment your dog picks up that toy, you get super excited and you run away from them. I know it's the opposite of what you want to do, but it triggers their chase drive, and suddenly coming back to you becomes the best part of the whole game.
And now for the final piece of the puzzle, getting them to actually give you the toy. And how you do this really depends on your dog.
If your dog is all about food, a simple trade for a really good treat is perfect. But if your dog is a total toy fanatic, the two-toy game is a game changer. You get them hyped for a second, identical toy, and they'll learn super fast that dropping toy number 1 is the only way to get you to throw toy number 2.
Okay, but let's be real. Training is never a straight line. You're probably going to hit a few bumps in the road. So let's talk about the most common problems and how to fix them.
Ah yes, the dreaded keep-away game. This is probably the #1 fetch frustration out there. The dog loves the chase, but bringing the ball back? To them, that just means the fun is over. So what do you do?
Okay, rule number 1, and this is non-negotiable. Never, ever chase your dog. If you chase them, you're just playing their game and rewarding the exact behavior you don't want. Instead, you do the opposite. Run away from them. Make yourself the fun thing to chase. And break out that two-toy method. You need to flip the script in your dog's mind so they understand that bringing the ball to you is what makes the awesome game continue.
All right, what about this one? The halfway drop. Your dog grabs the toy, comes charging back, and then spits it out 10 feet away and just looks at you. You know that look, right? The, okay, I did my part, now you come get it look. What's that all about? This is a dead giveaway that one of the links in our behavior chain is weak, and 9 times out of 10, it's the hold. So the fix is to just go back a step. Go back inside and work on building that duration of the hold. And when you are outside, don't give in and walk to the toy. Cheer them on, get excited, and encourage them to bring it those last few feet. Only reward the full delivery.
Okay, so finally, let's talk about the end game here. The ultimate goal isn't to have a dog who will just fetch a ball for a cookie. The goal is to build a game that's so much fun the game itself becomes the reward. And the way we get there is with something called the slot machine effect. Once your dog is reliably bringing the toy back every single time, you stop rewarding every single rep. Just like a slot machine, the payout becomes unpredictable. Maybe the first retrieve gets a treat. Maybe the next 3 just get another throw. This unpredictability doesn't make them quit. It actually makes them try harder. It makes the behavior super strong.
And that really brings us to this idea right here. The most powerful reward for bringing the ball back is the opportunity to do it all over again. I mean, that's it, right? That's the beautiful self-reinforcing loop we're trying to build. The reward for playing the game is more game.
Because when you really think about it, what we've been talking about this whole time isn't just about teaching your dog to fetch. It's so much bigger than that. It's about learning how to communicate, how to build motivation, how to create a real partnership. You're not just teaching a game, you're learning to speak your dog's language, and that opens up a whole new world of connection and fun.